Hey everybody, Professor T.J. Wilkins here, and let's get started with the t-shirt flat. First, open the ruler. Press Command R as in Robert for a Mac or Control R for a PC to access the ruler. Then head over to the Layers panel, select the Guides layer and lock it. After that, select the body layer. Then head over to the Tools bar. Right now the fill and the stroke is empty, so select the default fill and stroke, click on the fill box, then go down and select none to turn off the fill. When you click on the fill, the color panel automatically pops open, so you can just move that underneath your art and illustration panel. Now go to the stroke panel, select it, and then change the weight to 2 points. Press the up arrow. Go back to the layers panel and select it. Let's keep that on display and select the zoom tool to zoom in on the croquis body. You can also press Command or Control plus on the keyboard to zoom in, or you could do Command or Control minus to zoom out. Okay, awesome. This is a great view. Now press P for the pen tool. Go over to the shoulder and click right where the red neckline meets the shoulder. Release your finger, drag the mouse following the shoulder to the armhole and click to create an anchor point. Lift your finger of the mouse and drag down to the bottom of the armhole. Click, hold, and gently pull the handle towards the left to create a soft curve that fits within the armhole. Move the mouse back and click on the last anchor point. Then drag the mouse down the side to create the side of the t-shirt. Click to create an anchor point. Press V as in Victor for the selection tool. Click on a blank space to deselect. Now we need to create the sleeve. Press A for the direct selection tool and click right in the middle of the path that creates the armhole. Press Command or Control C to copy, then press Command or Control F to paste in the front. So now recreated a copy of the armhole path and then pasted it in front of the original armhole path. We're going to use that to create the sleeve. Press P as in Paul for the pen tool, then go up and click on the top anchor point. Release the mouse, drag down, click, and then hold and curve the handle so it fits around the bicep. Go back to the last anchor point and click. Release the mouse, drag across the arm and click. Then drag up to the anchor point at the bottom of the armhole and click to close the path. Nice. We have a sleeve. It's not perfect, but we can easily fix it with the direct selection tool. So press A for the direct selection tool. Click on a blank spot in the workspace to deselect the sleeve. Now reselect the sleeve to start making necessary adjustments. So in my case, I need to shape the curve around the bicep. Now I'll click on the bottom anchor point to shift the sleeve down and then use the handle to soften the curve on the top shoulder. Let's fix the sleeve opening. Go over to the tools panel and select the anchor point tool. Click in the middle of the sleeve opening path and drag downwards to create a soft curve. Press A for the direct selection tool and just use that to continue making any other adjustment that needs to be done. In my case, I'm going to just play around with the handles and the location of the anchor points. In your case, it may be a little bit different. Bring this down a little bit more. Looks good. I want to bring it up a little bit more, so I will select the bottom part with the selection tool and then press the up arrow to just shift it up a little bit more. Then click on the outside path and use the handle to shape it more around the bicep. Fix it at the bottom opening a little bit more. And now I'm done. Okay, I lied. I'm going to select the bottom once again and use the up arrow key to shift it up a little bit more. and then select the side and reshape it with the handle. Now let's add stitching to the sleeve opening. Go to the sleeve opening and click in the middle. Press Command or Control C to copy, and then Command or Control F to paste in the front. That is C as in cat and F as in Frank. Now press the up arrow on your keyboard to shift the path you just created upward. Select the stroke panel and select dash lines. Change the dash to 2 and the gap to 1. Then go up to the stroke weight and then change that to 1 as well. Yep, now I have stitching. I need to adjust this though, so make sure you press A for the direct selection tool. Let me zoom in a little bit. You can do Command or Control plus to zoom in. Then click on the stitching path to adjust it. To adjust the path, you can shift the location using the anchor points. And also pull on the handle to adjust the curve. Then click on a blank space to deselect. Command or Control minus to zoom out. Also, to center your work, you can hold down the space bar and then use the mouse to move around the artboard. Okay, let's get a clearer view of what we've done so far. Select the Layers panel. Then go to the Guide layer and click on the eye icon to turn it off. This is what we've done so far. We have a portion of the body and the sleeve. So this looks good. In the Guide layer, click again to turn on the visibility. Okay. I want to adjust the side of the t-shirt a little bit more, so press A for the direct selection tool, click on the side, and then at the bottom anchor point, you can bring it a little bit closer to the body. Press V as in Victor for the selection tool. Then click at the top, hold and drag down to select the sleeve and the body. Go over to the Tools bar and select the Reflect tool. Then go back to the Crow key, hold down the Alt or Option key and click on the middle line. This opens the Reflect panel and centers the selected artwork to be transferred and copied to the other side. Before copying, you have to make sure your settings are correct. So in the Reflect panel, select Vertical. If Preview is not selected, click Preview to view your work. Then go down and select Copy. And there you go. A mirror image of the sleeve and body has been reflected evenly to the other side. The shirt body is currently an open path. We need to make it a closed path so we can easily add colors and fills. Press A on the keyboard for the direct selection tool. Then select the 2 points that will create the neckline. Press Command or Control J as in Jack to join those 2 points and create a path. Let's join the anchor points at the bottom. Select the 2 anchor points, then press Command or Control J to join. Okay, so let's curve the neckline and the hem to give it a more natural look. Select the anchor point tool, click in the middle of the neckline path and drag it down a little bit to create a curve. Go down to the bottom of the t-shirt, click in the middle of the path, and pull it down a little bit to create a soft curve for the hem. Let's add some stitching at the hemline. Press Command or Control plus to zoom in. Then press A for the direct selection tool. Click in the middle of the hem path. Press Command or Control C to copy, and Command or Control F as in Frank to paste in the front. Press the up arrow on your keyboard to shift your new path upward. You can press the down arrow if you go up too high. Select the stroke panel and select dash line. Make sure the dash is 2 points and the gap is 1 point. And then change the weight to 1 point. Click on a blank space on the artboard to deselect. Press Command or Control minus to zoom out. Okay, let's see what we've done so far. Go over to the Layers panel and then turn off the visibility in the guide layer. And this is what we have. Looks awesome. All right, so click in the guides layer to turn the visibility back on. It's time to create the neckline. Go to the tools bar and select the zoom tool, or press Command or Control plus to zoom into the neckline. Then select the anchor point tool. Let's shape the neckline so it curves into this red guide down here. Click in the middle of the neckline and drag down to fit into the curve. Press A for the direct selection tool. Click in the blank area to deselect. Then click in the middle of the neckline to reselect. Press Command or Control C to copy, and then Command or Control B as in boy to paste in the back. We just pasted this path in the back to create the area that represents the inside of the t-shirt. Press Command or Control J as in Jack to join and close the path at the top. This area right here is the inside of the shirt. Press Command or Control plus to zoom in. Notice that the corners are really sharp. To fix it, go to the stroke panel and then select Round Join. Now the corners are rounded. Select the anchor point tool and click in the middle of the path and bring it down a little bit. This is the back of the neck. Let's add some gray color on the inside of this shape. Go over to the tools bar and click to select the fill box. Then go into the Art and Illustration panel and select a gray color. Then click on a blank space to deselect. Press Command or Control minus to zoom out. Let's see what we have so far. So head over to the Layers panel and turn off the visibility in the guide layer. All right, this is looking really good. Turn the visibility back on. Press Command or Control plus to zoom into the neckline, or you could use the zoom tool. Then go up to the ruler, click Hold, and drag a guide down to the top of the grain guide for the neckline. Then go to the body layer and lock it. Select the neckline layer. Go to the Shape Tool panel and select the Rectangle tool. Right now the fill and stroke is empty, so go to the Tools bar and select the default fill and stroke. Then place the rectangle tool where the neckline intersects at the shoulder. Click, hold, and drag across to the other neckline intersection. So the rectangle has to be positioned exactly at the neckline shoulder intersection. So if you need to make adjustments, click on the anchor points and adjust if necessary. Select the anchor point tool. Then click in the center of the bottom line of the rectangle tool, then hold and drag down. Position it so it fits into the shape of the front neckline. Then go up, click on the top line, hold and drag down. Press A for the direct selection tool. Right now we're creating the rib band for the t-shirt neckline. We want this shape to look natural, so after pressing A for direct selection tool, click the top anchor point on the rectangle and bring it down to lay it on the shoulder. Also use the ruler guide going across the page as your guide. Now click on the top anchor point on the opposite side of the shoulder and lay it down to rest on the shoulder. Use the anchor point handles to adjust the neckline so that it's even. You can also go back and adjust the anchor point on the shoulder if needed. Now go to the stroke panel and change the weight to 2. Press Command or Control plus to zoom in more to the neckline. We want to check to see if everything is aligned. Press A for the direct selection tool, and then you can click on the anchor points to adjust it further if needed. Press Command or Control minus to zoom out. Now we need to draw the back band. Select the front band, go over to the Tools panel, and notice there are 3 different modes at the bottom of the stroke and the fill. Select the Draw Behind mode. Then head over to the Shape panel and select the Rectangle tool. Now, just like we did the front, place the Rectangle tool where the neckline intersects at the shoulder. Press Hold and drag across to the other side. Then click on the rectangle shape and adjust it into the sides of the neckline if needed. Press A for the Direct Selection tool. Then click the top anchor point on the rectangle and bring it down to lay it on the shoulder. Do the same thing on the other side. Select the anchor point tool and then click in the middle of the line at the bottom of the rectangle, hold, then drag the path down to create a soft curve. You don't need to bring it all the way down, but you can use your own discretion. Then go up and select the path at the top of the rectangle, hold, and softly bring it down. Make sure your front and back neckline looks balanced and even. If it's not, no worries, just press A for the Direct Selection tool and then click on the areas that needs to be adjusted accordingly. Okay, so we're done with the guide. Go to Layers, unlock the body layer, select it, then select the ruler guide and press Delete. Let's add some stitching at the bottom of the neckline. Press A for the Direct Selection tool. Click at the bottom of the front neckline to select it. Press Command or Control C to copy, and then Command or Control F to paste in the front. And that is F as in Frank. Now there's a fill in the path that we just copied and pasted to the front. We don't need that. So go down to the Tools bar, select the fill, then click None. Now press the down arrow on the keyboard to shift the path downward. You want to position it so it's underneath the front neckline. Now let's transfer the same stitching attributes on the opening of the sleeve to the bottom of the neckline. Press the letter I as in ice cream for the eyedropper tool. Or you can go to the Tools panel and select the eyedropper tool. Click on the stitching at the sleeve opening, then the stitching will get transferred to the path underneath the neckline. Press A for the Direct Selection tool or get it in the Tools panel, then click on the path underneath the neckline and adjust the stitching. In my case, I need to bring it up to the neckline. Click on the anchor points to adjust the stitching and then pull at the handle so that the stitch is more even underneath the neckline. Click on a blank spot on the workboard to deselect. Let's add stitching to the bottom of the back neckline. So click at the bottom of the neckline, Command or Control C to copy, Command or Control F to paste in the front. So notice there's a fill in the path we just pasted in the front. Go to the Tools panel, select the fill, and then select None to remove the fill. Then press the down arrow to bring the path downward. Press I for the eyedropper tool and click on the path underneath the neckline. Click on a blank space to deselect. Now notice that this path right here with the stitching is sticking out a little bit. We need to fix that. Click on the path and then click on the anchor points and bring it inward a little bit. Slide it inwards a little bit so it's hidden by the collar band. Click on a blank space on the artboard to deselect. Let's adjust the stitching line at the bottom of the back neckline a little bit more. Press V for the selection tool, click on the stitching line, And then press the top arrow on the keyboard to shift the stitching up a little bit closer to the back neckline. Ooh, it is time for a check-in. So Command or Control minus to zoom out, then go to the Layers panel and then turn off the visibility in the guide layer. Now we can see what we've done so far. All we need to do now is just add in the rib lines inside of the front and back t-shirt band. Turn the visibility back on. Make sure you're in the neckline layer. Press Command or Control plus to zoom in at the neckline. Press A for the direct selection tool and then select the bottom of the neckband. Click in the middle to select it. Press Command or Control C to copy, and then now we need to paste the path we just copied to the inside of the band. To do that, go to the Tools panel and select Draw Inside. You'll see these brackets around the shape that was previously selected. That means it's ready to be drawn inside. Now on the keyboard, press Command or Control V as in Victor to paste that shape on the inside of the band. Head over to the stroke panel, select it, then select Dash Line. Change the dash to 1 point. The gap is also 1 point. Here's the fun part. Go up to the weight, press the up arrow, and continue to increase the weight until it fills up the front band. Because we drew inside the front band, we can increase the stroke weight to infinity and beyond, and it will not come outside of the front band. Okay, let me adjust this back down. So we're still in Draw Inside mode. Go to the Tools panel and select Draw Normal to switch back to the normal drawing mode. Okay, now we need to add the rib inside of the back t-shirt band. To do that, click at the bottom of the band. Whoops, selected the wrong spot. If that happens to you, just click on the blank space on the artboard to deselect and try again. So click on the bottom of the back t-shirt band, Command or Control C to copy, and then click on Draw Inside in the Tools panel, then Command or Control V as in Victor to paste on the inside of the back band. Select the stroke panel, then select Dash Lines. Make sure the dash is 1. If it's not, change it to 1. And then also make sure the gap is 1. Then change the weight, increase the weight until it fills up the back band. Press Command or Control minus to zoom out. We're almost there. Now we just need to check the different closed shapes to see if they're ready for fills. So click on the path for the shirt body and go in the Art and Illustration panel and click on any color. Now click on the sleeve, go over to the Art and Illustration panel, and then click on any color. Click on the other sleeve, then head over to the Art and Illustration panel and select any color. Press Command or Control plus to zoom into the neckline, and then click on the front neckline to select it. Go over to the Art and Illustration panel and select a color. Okay, we have a problem here. That is because the path that creates the rib inside of the front band still has the fill on. So press A for the direct selection tool and then go into the front band and select the path that creates the rib. Notice that the fill is still on. So to turn it off, select None. Let's check the back neckline. Once again, press A for the direct selection tool. Click on the band for the back neckline, and then select a color to add on the inside of it. All right, the same issue here, no worries. So inside of the back band, select the path that creates the rib. The fill is on, so click the fill, then scroll down and click none to empty the fill. Awesome, the issue is fixed. Press Command or Control minus to zoom out. Let's add a white fill on the inside of the shirt for now. Click on the body. Then go to the Art and Illustration panel and select a white color. Select a sleeve. Fill it with white. Press Command or Control plus to zoom in. Select the front band. Change the color to white. Select the back band and then change the color to white. Now press Command or Control minus to zoom out. Yes, it's time to add the swatch inside of the t-shirt. So press the space bar and move your mouse to position your artboard. Now here's the swatch. We need to put it into the swatches panel so we can drag it into the t-shirt. The swatch is currently in the guide layer, so go to the layer, click guide, unlock the guide layer, select the swatches panel. Just in case, press V for the selection tool, click on the swatch, hold it and drag it into the swatches panel. There it is right here. Now, to fill inside of the shirt, press A for the direct selection tool and then click on the body of the shirt. Then go to the swatches panel and select the t-shirt swatch. Boom, I love it. It looks good. But if the fill looks a hot mess, no worries, you can easily fix it. Place the mouse on the body and right click. Then scroll down to transform. You can select move, rotate, reflect, or scale to fix the fill. Okay, so let's try move. Click on move. And notice that my image got warped. That is because transform objects is selected. So select transform patterns and then deselect transform objects, and there you go. Now if you want to move it around, you can rotate the angle to change the location of the pattern or the fill on the inside of the object. Once you're done, click OK. I actually like how the fill looked when I dropped it in, so I'm just going to select cancel. Click a path on the sleeve to select it, then go into the swatches panel and select the fill. Do the same thing with the other sleeve, select the fill. Click on a path on the front band to select it, then add the fill. Press Command or Control plus to zoom in at the neckline. Select the path on the back neckline, click, then select the swatch in the swatch panel to fill it in. Alright, press Command or Control minus to zoom out. This looks really good. Everything looks good on my end, but if you need to adjust your work, just go and click in the area that needs adjusting. Right click in the area that needs adjusting. Scroll down to transform and select what needs to be done. So let's try rotate. Now notice that my sleeve got warped. No worries. Select transform patterns and deselect transform objects. We only want to transform the pattern on the inside. So to do that, you can just move the angle around and position it however way you want to correct your work. Press OK when you're finished. In my case, I'm just pressing cancel because I was happy with how my work looked to begin with. Alright, press V as in Victor for the selection tool. Go to the layers panel, click, and lock the guide layer. Now click down and drag over the t-shirt body to select it. Press Command or Control C to copy, Then press Command or Control V as in Victor to paste. Click on the shirt and drag it to the right. Okay, I'm glad this happened actually. So if you don't set your pattern or fill by transforming the pattern tiles, when you move your flat around, the pattern or the fill that's on the inside of it will move around too. That's why you're seeing all of these lines and it just looks uneven. It doesn't look like how it looks like on the croquis to the left. So this is an easy fix. Click on the shirt and press delete to delete it. Then go up to the options bar and select preferences. Scroll down and select transform pattern tiles, then select OK. Now reselect the t-shirt body. Command or Control C to copy, Command or Control V to paste. Before we start moving your shirt around, press Command or Control G as in Gerber to group everything together. You can then select your shirt with one click. Also notice as we move the t-shirt around, the fill on the inside stays in place. That is because we selected transform pattern tiles. By the way, another way to group is to go up to Object in the menu bar, select it, and then scroll down to Group and select. We are about to create the t-shirt back. Press V for the selection tool, then click on the t-shirt. Press Command or Control C to copy, and then press Command or Control V to paste another copy of the shirt. Select the Zoom tool from the Tools panel to zoom in, or Command or Control plus to zoom in to the neckline. Press A for the Direct Selection tool, and now let's click on the areas that we don't need and delete it. Select the front band and press Delete. Select the rib and delete. Select the gray inside shape and delete it. Select the stitching line underneath the back neckline and delete it. Select the anchor point tool. Click at the bottom of the neckline, hold and drag it up to meet the bottom of the back band. Click on the back stitching, hold and drag it up so it is lined up underneath the back band. Press A for the Direct Selection tool, Command or Control plus to zoom into the neckline. Let's fix the corners. Click on the path for the back neckline and then adjust the anchor point so it matches into the shoulder. It's easier to adjust when you select the anchor points and then lift and position it into the shoulders as I'm doing here. You can also click on the path and pull on the handles. If you can't see the handles, click away on a blank spot, then reselect, and there you go, there's the handles. Move the handles around to adjust the shape of the neckline so it's even on both sides. Now let's adjust the stitching underneath the neckline. Click the stitch underneath the band and use the handles to adjust it. You want to do this so that the stitch is aligned evenly underneath the back neckband. You can click on an anchor point and drag it down the shoulder a little bit to get everything even. And also go back to playing around with the handles. Command or Control minus to zoom out. Yeah, look, we have something really good going on over here. All right, you can click on the shirt and, set it so that it's even on the page. And we're done. If you want more design content, subscribe or hit the like button below.